Everyone, in this video we'll be walking through how you can take quote requests that come in off the website and convert them into quotes in the operations portal. So to get started, I am on the customer facing site right now. I'm going to add a couple of items to my cart from the site. So we'll add these two. I'm going to navigate to my cart now. And once I'm ready to check out, I can first review my items on my order on the Your Orders tab. And then I'm going to click Next, where I'm going to enter my billing and shipping information. You can see here I've already populated that information just for this video. And then when I click Next, I can also go to my delivery and payment section. This is where I'm going to select my shipping option. I can add in a purchase order if that's something you have available on your site. And then if I scroll down, I have my Request a Quote button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And that has now placed my quote request on the website. So we're going to pause the video here, and then we're going to come back to where you can pull it up in the operations portal. And what we're going to do is go over to the operations portal. You'll want to go to this quote request screen here under the CRM section. And this screen is going to have a full list of all of the quote requests that have come in off of the website. You might notice here in this company column that some of these are blank and others have an assigned company. For the quote requests that don't have a company assigned, those are from guest users who aren't logged in and don't have an account on the site, so they're placing a quote request as a public user. And then the others with a company assigned are when you have a logged in customer placing a quote request under that company. So depending on your website configuration, you might see a combination of these here. We're going to go ahead and click into the details of this first quote request just by clicking on this arrow. And here you're going to see an overview of the quote on this details tab. You also have the items tab here that'll show you that the items that the customer requested from the site. When you're ready to start your quote, you're going to click on this start quote icon in the upper right. And this is going to allow you to assign your company and choose your quote type. So for the company, it's type as you search, and you can select your company from the drop-down. And then for quote types, we have cash quote and account quote. For cash quote, these are when you're going to do one-time quotes for your customer, and then account quotes are if you are setting up pricing and ship-tos for them. For this video, we'll go ahead and do a cash quote. So I'm going to click Start Quote here, and you can see now that I started that quote, I've been redirected to the cash quote section of the portal. You can see at the top here and also in the menu. So essentially we took that quote request, we've now created that cash quote under this book suppliers company that we assigned, and then I can start working on my quote here. So a few things you'll want to set when you start this. On the details section, we have this expiration date, so you can click into the calendar and you can click when that quote is going to expire. Scrolling down, there's the delivery address section, and this has the details that your customer put in at checkout, but you do have a few different options here. If you click on this icon right here, you have the option of leaving this as a one-time only quote, or you can even use an existing ship to if you have an address that already exists that you want to use for that. We'll just go ahead and leave this for right now. You do also have the option of keeping or updating the address details if you do select a ship to from here. We've got the delivery method that the customer selected at checkout. You can click on that and update as needed. It's been assigned a warehouse here, and you can also click into the drop down and update the warehouse if you need to assign a different one. You can set a requested delivery date if they have a specific date they requested. So we'll just go ahead and select one from the calendar here. And then scrolling down, we've got the customer comments section. These are the details left by the customer in the order, but you can also update as needed here if you need to leave a comment for the customer. That's also going to be saved to the quote. Jumping over to the items tab here, we have the existing items that the customer requested, but if you need to make any updates or adjust the quantities, you can do that all from this screen. So for instance, maybe they change their minds that they would like 2 of this first item, you can change that. You can also add additional items too. We'll just go ahead and select one from the drop down here. and add that to our quote. Now, once you have all of your items updated as needed, you can go back to the Details tab here. I am going to go ahead and click Calculate to get that final amount on the quote now that we adjusted those items. And then what I can do is if I scroll to the top here, you see we have this quote in process status. When you're ready to send this off to your customer, you can update that here. So if you click into the drop down, I'm going to change this to quote pending. And this is helpful if your customer has a login on the site and they can check their quote history. Once you change it to pending, they can also go in there and review the items and pricing. And then what we can do next is we can generate a file. So if I click on this generate file icon here, I have the option of doing a customer PDF or internal PDF. For customer, this is going to be customer facing and you can send this file to them when you send out an email. Internal PDF is helpful if you want to generate the PDF first and maybe check it over before you send it off or make it available to the customer. You have that option as well. I'm just going to go ahead and click customer PDF. We'll get our options here. You can keep the default template, and then you have the option of if you want to display the pricing totals or not. We'll keep that as yes, the default here, since we are sending out this quote for the customer to review. I'm going to go ahead and click generate, and that is going to create a PDF copy of this quote that will be available for you to send to your customer. So it'll be just a minute while this creates that PDF here. And then once you have that PDF, you'll see that you're redirected to this customer files tab since we created it as a customer file. You can click on the eyeball icon to preview the PDF here and see all the details. So you can see these are the notes we updated. We have our additional line items and the updated quantities along with all of our totals on the PDF here. And on this screen, you can also download the PDF if you need to save a copy of it. And then you can also send it in an email to the customer. To do that, I'm going to click on the email quote icon right here. When you click on that, you'll have a few different configuration options. We're going to keep that display pricing as yes for the customer. I'm going to click configure, and this is going to give me my email that I can also send to them. So if I scroll down, you can see all of the details for that cash quote here, similar to what's in the PDF. And then if I click on this attach file icon, I can also select that PDF I generated and attach it to the email here too, so they have a copy of that. And then I can type in the customer's email address and go ahead and click send to send that off. Any emails that are sent through here are also stored under this emails tab, so you can see a full history of all of those, including the one that we just sent to the customer. So that's also handy when you're doing quoting in here. Now, once the customer comes back and lets you know that they've accepted the quote and it's good to go, you can push that cash quote here into the ERP, and that's going to then create an order in your ERP. It's also going to update the status here from quote pending to quote won. So we're just going to jump over to the cash quote screen here. I'll show you one example here. This quote down at the bottom was one that we pushed in the ERP. The status was updated. And then if you go over to the order screen here, I'm just going to open that up. We'll go ahead and search on that order. You'll see that it was also created here, and then it would be pushed into your ERP, and then you could treat it as an order there. So that's a quick overview of how you can convert those quote requests into quotes and push into your ERP. If you have any questions on this, please let us know. And thank you so much for watching this video.